Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. This is mrnodeitall here, and just kind of want to give a quick market update today. We had some price action in the Bitcoin markets and in the stock market today. We had some nice movements to the upside in traditional markets. So I drew this this couple days ago. This is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Obviously, we have our neckline right around the 10.9 area. If Bitcoin does break 10.9, we're looking at a measured move to around 12,000 near that area. So I just wanted to give a quick update with that. The pattern developing here. So I'm not sure why my chart just did that. Yeah, so Bitcoin just sitting around that 10.4 area right now on the 4 hour. We did get a confirmed buy signal, okay. That came in on the 4 hour. If we go to the daily, the candle just closed. We are sitting now above the 20 EMA and bullishly engulfing. And so, yeah, we are kind of just sitting in this pattern right now. Let me just this out real quick. Yeah, so for this pattern to actually be valid, we'd obviously have to break the neckline, and like I said before, the measured move is right around that 12,000 area, right at the top of this candle close right here. So we have our initial neckline here to break, and then measured move. This is our daily chart. I'm looking at the BitMEX chart currently, and that's your Bitcoin. So not too much happening right this moment. We did see some action today. Actually, really not a whole lot of volume today, but just enough to move the price above the 20 EMA, and now just kind of sitting at some resistance here around that 10.5 area. So we'll see how the price action takes this resistance here. It wouldn't shock me if we hit this resistance and pull it back. It also wouldn't shock me if we actually got some volume that we pushed right through this. So I mean, obviously we could see either. You know, I'm no magician here, guys. I'm just looking at some sort of chart pattern that I found, I saw. So and I think gold kind of doing the same thing but the opposite. So gold, I'm seeing more of a head and shoulders pattern, which is kind of ends up being a little bearish, right? Because once you create that head and shoulders pattern, you actually measure move down to the bottom, right? So it's kind of similar, but just the opposite direction, right? So you would have your left shoulder here, and the top would be your head here. And we're kind of developing the right shoulder as we speak. So I would say it's going to do something like this, right? And then you have this support down here. So that's gold. And just take a look at some of the alts. Let's look at ETH real quick. Sure, no problem. So we'll look at ETH for a minute. Let's go to a daily. So ETH, was in this ascending triangle. It's actually trying to hold on to some of that support here that it had created, right, initially. So we got this kind of falling wedge pattern that we're in right now on ETH. I'm just going to get some of this stuff out of the way so I can actually see the chart. So we didn't actually break this neckline just yet on this wedge, right? You guys can kind of get the picture here, what I'm drawing. So this is a typical falling wedge pattern, and this is inherently bullish. Obviously it's going to depend a lot on Bitcoin, and we haven't really tested this 200 level yet. Once we have, then we can confirm this as a local bottom. But until we do actually test this 236 area, we just could continue selling off, right? But if Bitcoin's actually in this inverse head and shoulders pattern, then it's probably going to move with Bitcoin, and break out of this channel, and probably test this 225 area. All right. So that's my little projection on ETH. It kind of looks like similar, right? In inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? Got the left shoulder here. This could be our head. We haven't really formed the right shoulder yet, so we could do something along these lines, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. But this actually may not be an inverse head and shoulders pattern. This just looks like a wedge to me. So we'll see how this plays out. But we could end up making a. I mean, actually, maybe it is similar to that. So maybe it could do something like this, where we have like a sideways inverse head and shoulders, and then break up to the upside. Something like that. You know what? I'll leave that on the chart so that later on when people are like, oh, Mr. Know-it-all, how did you know I was going to do that? Well, I didn't actually know, but just kind of forming that type of pattern. So, and I think it's just going to do something similar to what Bitcoin is going to do typically. So. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, so I wanted to also show you guys my bot that I'm running right now. Right now my short position is actually I wouldn't. I'm not like too worried about it, but you know, my liquidation point is like almost 15,000. So I've completed 4 safeties now. Obviously, my short got a little not wrecked, but it's obviously going to dollar cost average one more time around that 10.6 area, and hopefully Bitcoin can retrace and this bot can take some profit. But so far so good. I'm looking at like right around $205 worth of Bitcoin in I guess like 2-3 weeks. So just based on percentage, it's actually pretty good. So just giving this a whirl for now. Yeah, one more dollar cost average on the left. That's right, Todd. Any questions, concerns, comments? Maybe you guys want to look at some other stocks. I know I look at Bitcoin a lot. Obviously this channel is focused on cryptocurrency. So, but let's look at the Dow. I mean, Dow is making some nice moves right now. Obviously, we had a couple scares a few months ago with these big dips, with the trade wars and trade talks. But I truly think that was just a ploy to get people to panic sell and so that the whales could, you know, scoop it up and then ride it up. But this to me also looks like a big inverse head and shoulders, right? You got this left shoulder here, you got your head, got another left shoulder here, right? So another inverse head and shoulders pattern playing out here, looks like. You know, this isn't connected, but you guys get the idea. Yeah, market manipulation for sure. So, but the measured move on this is pretty big, guys. I mean, you're looking at like a 20% measured move from the neckline break, and we actually are about to break. 27,432 is basically the neckline. I mean, we're just back testing this support, or we're about to break out of it. This is a daily chart, so yeah, Dow Jones about to make new all-time highs for sure. All right, S&P kind of doing probably a similar thing, right? Basically a similar pattern. Inverse head and shoulders. Sorry, I don't know why my charts keep doing that, but same thing. Big pattern here is the inverse head and shoulders. Here's your head. And the bottom of your right shoulder. And the break. Actually looks identical to the Dow Jones the Dow Jones. So, and we're also looking around the same type of measured move. So, probably around that 20% area. If we just go from the bottom here to the neckline. Yep, 20%. So this is a pretty insane looking chart. 20% from the neck here brings us to right around the 350 area on the S&P. Okay. So if we go like from our initial from our swing low to our current swing high, we could get measured moves. Fibonacci measured moves anyway. So wherever that 20% is from the break, so 20% would put us like right around the 1618 fib extension, okay? Right around that 352.90, right? I said 350 before, you know. Fib extensions are usually a lot more accurate, and you can see, you know, we use the 786 to bounce off of here. We use the 618 making higher lows, and there you go, man. We got a huge continuation pattern here happening. So once we break this this 301.50 or whatever this high was here, or 302-ish, this thing is gonna break 20, you know, break up 20%. Obviously, there's gonna be, you know, back tests on the way up, and you know, nothing just goes straight up. But looking pretty bullish. Looking pretty bullish for now. We were all waiting for this pattern to play out. You know, a few months ago, everyone was calling for recession and, like, you know, all this stuff. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't going to be a recession. That's definitely possible. I mean, we're seeing inverted yield curves still, but I think the governments are definitely going to, you know, institute more easing into this market and print more cash and yeah, for sure. Well, Todd, October typically is a down month in the markets typically. I mean, that doesn't mean that this year is going to be that way. That's for sure. But typically, stock market usually has a correction or some sort of correction in October. As you can see here, during October we had this crash. Right. Previous year, October, we also had a little bit of a crash. And what do you know? This actually looks like a very similar pattern. Looks like we had this inverse head and shoulders pattern here too. I don't know if you guys see that, but here's your left shoulder, here's your head, you know, and the right shoulder. Same type of move. Same type of move. Anyways, I just figured I'd point some of this out to you guys tonight. You guys have any questions or concerns, or maybe some stocks you guys want me to look at? Do some quick TA on it. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that bell, that sub, and that like button. YouTube likes the like button. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. Where is it? Where's my Bitcoin chart? It's probably up here somewhere. Yep, here it is. Alright. So yeah, we have this inverse head and shoulders pattern playing out. This is on a 3-day chart, so it doesn't really have that much. I guess it does have some leeway on the daily, right? So we got this big pattern playing out on the daily chart. You can clearly see that. Our neckline right here. That 10.775 area. Once we break that, I think I already mentioned the measured move, but I'll do it again. Yeah, so it's like roughly around a 15 or 14% measured move out of the neck. So once we do that, we're looking at around the 12.5 area. We could just still take the fib tool here and plot where that would put us. So, at first glance, obviously we back tested the 236 here, bounced. Now we're around right around the 382, which could be an area for price action to reverse, and this head and shoulders pattern may not play out. That could be definitely a potential scenario. However, we did bullishly engulf, and we will definitely be looking at around that 10.7 area here shortly to test this Fibonacci retracement and the neckline. So here's your Bitcoin.
Dear Verizon Wireless customer, your account had been suspended for verification. To reactivate.
Hey, CoinFox. What's going on, brother? Thanks for joining the stream, man. Appreciate that. Can you feed this to Discord? How do I do that? Is there a way to do that? Oh, yeah, there is a way to do that. Let me look real quick. So I guess under integrations, I think I have to set up, hang on one second. I think I have to set up stream mode or something. Let's see. Yeah. I'm trying to do it right now. 1 second. So my thing is already connected. Connections. Hang on a sec, guys. You know what? I'll set this up for the next stream. How about that, CoinFox? . anyways, guys, as I covered earlier, plotting some sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern on Bitcoin here. Typically once we've created a bottom and we've pumped through the 236, we got rejected at the 50% retrace area, back tested the 236 as support, and now we are bouncing off that. We're, like I said before, we're looking at around a 15%, 14% measured move from the neckline, which puts us right around that 12.5 area. All right. Which kind of matches up exactly where our previous candle high close was. And this pattern definitely looks like it's going to break that direction. Stokes pointed up on the daily. RSI pointed up. We got even divergence happening here, bullish divergence. Yeah, so like every indicator is pointing in that direction. We're just starting to make positive momentum with higher prices. So bullish stuff happening right now with Bitcoin. And that's the update for this evening, guys. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on Bitcoin and where I thought projected it to go. Overstock. This stock had quite a nice run today, 17% run to the upside, and to me this looks like cup and handle, right? You got the cup here, and then your handle, which is another continuation pattern. Measured move of the cup right to the neckline is around 137%, guys. 137%. That is quite a big cup. And if we go to like a weekly, it actually does look like instead of a cup and handle, it looks kind of like an inverse head and shoulders, right? You got your left shoulder here, got your head, and then your right mini shoulder here. So maybe we're looking at what did I say before, 137% measured move, man. Yeah, so that's gonna take this stock probably to new highs, if I had to guess, 136%. Well, not quite. It's gonna take us right back, right around to the previous highs it had, and right near it, right under it actually. So, overstock looking pretty bullish. Stochastics obviously on the weekly pointing up, even though we had this pullback here, but still in the bullish control zone. And Stokes here, or RSI here, also nicely bouncing here right around that 46 area on RSI. Looking pretty good. Nice little volume candle came in today. Basically almost closing above this neckline, right? It looks like we closed above the neckline. Or just about, or right on it actually. Just right on it. So maybe monitor this stock. If we get a breakout, you might want to wait for the back test on the break, and then maybe take a long position if you haven't done so already. I know it's already moved about 17%, so it's definitely going to probably pull back some before continuing up. We might even do something like this. This might even be a failed break, right? Back test here, finish out this shoulder, and then break out. So that's overstock. Okay. What are the big movers we have today? Not sure I heard of any of these other ones, but this stock dropped 50%. Holy smokes. Where's Ace on this one? Ace, you want to buy the dip, bro? Oh man, this stock looks like garbage. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, overstock trades with BTC, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not really too sure what this stock is. I just kind of wanted to look at it. It had a big drop, so maybe some fundamentals. Something bad happened with this stock today. Clearly something bad happened with this stock today. It dropped 50%. Man. Look at that sell volume, man. Holy shit. Anyways, yeah. Right. Anyways, what other stocks you guys want to look at tonight, or crypto for that matter? Have any big movers today on the crypto market? Let's look at anything that we know. Cosmos. Cosmos hasn't had a nice move. Let's take a look at Cosmos. USD. I think it was on Poloniex first, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at a better chart. Yeah, maybe we'll just use this. Alright. So obviously our top. We did create this local low here. We broke the 236, so this is our bottom, basically $2. Okay. Lisk and BTC, okay. Lisk BTC or Lisk USD pair, or Lisk BTC pair? So yeah, Adam just touching the 382 right now. This could be an area for price action reversal, although this does look like a pretty big continuation pattern here, right? We got this cup and handle. 47% measured move on the break of this neckline. So putting Adam like right around $4.20 or so. Lisk, let's look at Lisk. Arash, did you want a BTC pair or a USD pair? We'll just look at the USD pair for right now. Let's just go weekly quick. Alright, so weekly looks pretty bad. We just broke previous lows. Yeah, this is still looking like it wants to make lower lows. Didn't quite catch that support there, but it should have. How you doing, Ace? Yeah, so Lisk was in this wedge. It broke out of it, and now kind of just fallen back further down, making looks like lower lows. Because one of our viewers requested it there, Ace. Yeah. So like this didn't even hit the 236 to confirm a local bottom, so that's why it's just dumping. Yeah, we looked at OSTK already. I already gave measured moves on that. 138% measured move. So Lisk, I mean, doesn't look too good. Let's look at our oscillators. I mean, we are oversold. We are trying to hopefully make a higher level of negative momentum here to create some divergence. If we hold here, if we stop selling off. I don't know if that answers your question, Arash, but hopefully getting close to a bottom here, right? We broke all major supports, looks like. So, all right, we'll look at JNUG. So JNUG, obviously, if you guys don't know, follows gold. So our previous swing high to our swing low. Looks like we hit that 618 pip extension on the dot. Okay, but if I reverse this, it is the 382 pip extension. Alright, looks like we're bouncing right off that 236 area, which would be putting in a higher low. And our daily looks like the Stokes are about to cross back up. So we get a nice bounce here. You can see that the candle is actually bouncing off this support right on the 236. You could it just nails it every time there, right? Although we do have like high sell volume here, so you know, just be cautious. Right, the 4 hour still looking pretty bearish on the close at the end of the day. But we are on a major support level here. This was the breakout that we did have. Like I think I mentioned this before, that gold is kind of forming a head and shoulders pattern, and so you guys can kind of see that. I got the left shoulder here, the head, and then our right shoulder, right? So the measured move on this pattern down, okay, is a pretty drastic drop. So gold could be done. We obviously could get a bounce here. We're still making negative momentum. It's weaning off the momentum, which is why there could be a bounce here. So that's JNUG. Daily, kind of see that, right? I mean, please define what a head and shoulders pattern means. It's just a pattern that typically plays out a lot, and I'll just give you guys some quick lesson. Okay, a head and shoulders pattern is a chart formation that resembles a baseline with 3 peaks, right? The outside 2 are close in height, and the middle is the highest. In a technical analysis, it describes a specific chart formation that predicts a bullish to bearish trend reversal, right? So that's kind of what I was saying with JNUG, that we're going to see some downside action on gold. We already actually kind of broke this neckline, and so, but like I said before, we're definitely going to get some sort of bounce here, right? And you could play this bounce. It's probably just going to back test here, and depending on how gold does or trades, if gold continues to drop, then JNUG will just follow it, right? So, but I think we're if you look, we broke this trend line up, Alright, Crypto Soldier. What else do we want to look at, Ace? ENPH. I think ENPH also obviously had a serious run, right? Look at the weekly chart. I mean, just insane. Just insane. We go from our swing high to our swing low. Looks like we basically hit the 1272 fib extension, or just about hit it. So, but look at the pressure down here. I mean, I think if this holds up, then maybe we just get a bounce right here and just continue running, right? Could just back test this support here around this $17, $18 area. But I guess if it breaks, nice, dude. If we break the 20 EMA, then we're obviously going to make a break downwards, right? So back testing this 1750 area. Obviously, your next area of support is around that 12 bucks. So, but I don't think we're going to see that big of a drop. We could. I mean, this thing did have quite a run. Yep. So what else did you want to cover, man? We looked at BTC already, inverse head and shoulders pattern. So Crypto Soldier, the inverse head and shoulders pattern is actually the opposite of a head and shoulders, right? So inverse head and shoulders indicates a trend reversal to the downside, whereas the inverse head and shoulders pattern is the reversal to the upside, right? So Bitcoin's been in a downtrend, and the price action is looking to reverse back to the upside right now. Yeah, obviously I'm being trolled. Shocker. Probably. I already took care of it. Ace, anything else real quick, man? I was showing Intel a while back, right? So end phase, yeah, what about it? Well, let's go to like a 15-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, you could long it here. It's obviously in a low risk area. Just got a huge dump. We're about to create positive momentum. We do have some divergence, ever so slight. Actually, I wouldn't even say that that's diverging. Could be diverging from back here though. So you could try to long it here. Obviously my long signal came in here, but I think I mean, the hourly looks like pretty good, right? So Stokes pointing up, RSI pointing up. We actually do have divergence on the hourly. So go for it, man. I'd say your targets are, this is a local low, which we haven't actually established a local low yet. Alright, so yeah, like maybe around 24 bucks. If we break 24 bucks, there's a chance it could run all the way to like 25 and, you know, in this area. Once we break 24, alright, it could run up to here. Why not? So I don't really see any sort of pattern that's in. Maybe a descending broadening wedge pattern. Just kind of selling off right now, right? So some could call this a wedge. I would say it's descending broadening wedge pattern. Okay. TZA. This is the bear, right? Yeah. Alright. So well, it's in an uptrend, right? So it could be a bullish pattern. So for ENPH, is that what you're asking, right? All right. So so here's your bear ETF. We're going to take our swing high to our previous swing low. Yeah, looks like it's pretty wrecked. And looks like it's hanging on by a thread, man. Like it actually the candle body actually closed right above the previous low wick, which is obviously a historical area for price action to reverse here. So, I mean, look, your RSI is definitely oversold, but hasn't really shown any real signs. I mean, that's like what, like right around a 30-some% drop, right? So it could be a bullish retracement target. Yeah, sure, why not? So TZA, this is obviously picking up sell volume, right? Look at the volume pick up. So it could start to wean off on the sell volume here, although it's kind of tough to tell what this thing wants to do. touched the 20 EMA, dropped off. Didn't really hold this support, so I'd look to get maybe a double bottom action here if you could. I mean, the RSI obviously pointing down, or stochastic RSI pointing down, but your RSI, yeah, I mean your RSI is also pointing down. So just be careful, man. You know, you're obviously in low risk areas for long, but this is a bear ETF, so you would need bearish action on this, on the whatever this follows, the Russell. So you pretty much need the stock market to crash, right, for this thing to go up. I just went over this. The SPY looks pretty bullish. Inverse head and shoulders. Dow Jones also following the same type of pattern, and yeah, it's looking bullish, man. Looking bullish. Although we are making lower levels of positive momentum, right? But Stokes pointed up. We're about to come right back out to finish off this bullish divergence that we have formed here. So this looks pretty good. Pretty good. SDC had an IPO today. Alright. Oh my god. Wrecked. Well, looks like maybe price action trying to reverse here. Well, you could take a long definitely if we crossed the 236, you know, around that 1730 area. So there's that. But that sell volume, man. That sell volume. Man, wrecked. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin. How does my chart keep doing that? Just doesn't. It's really annoying. Keep doing this thing. Yeah, so still in this Inverse head and shoulders pattern. Alright, so we're looking for a close above 10.6, and then a close above 10.8, and then we got some bullish targets up here. If we can close above those two areas, we are definitely getting some bullish divergence on the RSI. Okay. Thank you for the 6 people watching this evening. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your guys' support. And make sure you guys hit that like, that bell, that sub if you like my content here and what I'm showing for you guys this evening. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys were aware of the Swing Trade Pro signals here. We got the buy and the sell signals that came in, and they are actually pretty good. I will say they are pretty accurate. If we go to our strategy tester, I can show you guys real quick how accurate they really are. Compile the data here. Okay. So, based on the hourly chart, if you were to use the signals, we're looking at about a 62.5% profitable. Okay, that's pretty accurate, guys. It's pretty good. Now if we go to like the 15-minute, probably, well, I mean, it's a little lower actually. It's because there's more signals that came in. So, but if we go to like the 1-minute chart, you know, our percentage probably dropped some more because there's actually our 1-minute chart actually is a lot higher than all the other charts, interestingly enough. So, just to give you guys a quick glimpse of the strategy tester and what the indicator really can do for you. All right. Get this out of here. All right. How about those bots? Yeah, man, those bots. So the bots that we're running right now, so like I mentioned before, my short is kind of stuck in a position right now. Like right before this little run we got, we're sitting around 4 safeties in, and we're looking to exit if this thing retraces just a little bit. Looking to exit around that 10.27.750 area, and yeah, but I'm not too worried about that. Obviously, you know, we are leveraging some of our account here, and that's okay. Here, if we go to our history, you can just see that pretty much every single trade is profiting. We're not going for big profits here. We did have a nice little trade here, $2 trade on our long today. Most of these trades today have been longs, obviously, since Bitcoin's been in an uptrend for the majority of the day. So, yep, this kind of gives you an idea of the consistency of the bot. All right. And look at that. Look at that nice chart. All right. Alright guys, anything else for this evening? Otherwise I'm going to jump. The funds are on the exchange. Yep, not on 3 commas. Anything else, guys? Otherwise, I'm going to jump. Alright guys, we'll catch you in the next stream. Thanks for joining us, and make sure you guys hit that bell, that sub, and that like. And if you like my content, obviously don't be shy to join the Discord channel and ask some questions. There's plenty of good folks in the community. Alright, thanks guys. Have a great night.